last time I used to rent a place near a school. Every morning, like coming out is an issue. Like even cycling is a big issue. So I used to cycle to my workout class, right? And then I have to like dodge left and right all the little kids.
Dodge the kids.
Yeah, so then I had to like ding, 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 ding. And it was like really stressful in the morning.
What do you know about UT, George? Your hometown?
UT?
Choa Chu Kang.
UT is has always been like a little brother to Choa Chu Kang.
Is there a master plan for Choa Chu Kang? No.
There is a master plan beyond UT, lo and behold.
Beyond UT?
Yes.
What's that, Cashew?
Aha, the
industrial vehicle park there?
Yes.
Really?
Oh,
Is there a
No, it's
master
not
plan?
Cashew. It's not Cashew. It's
You mean-
further. It's at Sungai
Kadut.
Sungai Kadut. You know why? Because there's going to be a new MRT line. The downtown line is going to be going beyond.
Is there a master plan?
Yes. It's going
Downtown line or beyond Bukit Panjang?
beyond Bukit Panjang.
Wow. But that's going to be like a long
10, 15
Time
years
later.
down the road.
Yeah. Not so soon.
So
Oh, sorry.
But all the factories there, lease are not renewing.
But I think it will all be in like different parts of the
Yeah.
island. Yeah. Because you see how the government is developing commercial industrial at like
Various.
the northeast side, the Jurong side. I mean,
Yukon.
it's all scattered. It's also
Yukon,
part of,
Pioneer.
yeah. As you want to decentralize the CBD financial, you also want to decentralize.
all the commercial
Correct.
nodes.
Yeah. And
Spot on.
decentralize all the residential. Basically, you want a good mix.
Yeah.
That's why, like,
We are decentralizing everything.
yes.
So our
yes.
life being decentralized as well.
Yes,
Um,
the core of our being.
The day you step into this job, your life is
Yeah,
decentralized.
because when
Yeah.
they say time is flexible, it also means that it's flexible for work,
Of course.
right?
Yes. So actually, it doesn't matter because we work from home now. It doesn't matter where you stay because you may not need to go down to CBD every day anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So what's the point about prices in like being near to town?
I mean, it depends. If let's say you grew up there, you like the location, all
Like
your
the vibe.
families are around there, then you may naturally want to stay there. I mean, there's nothing wrong.
No, that's why they say accessibility is being redefined, right?
Mm.
Not as being near the city, but being near a
Defined by
transport
your,
node.
by your lifestyle, I would say.
Mm.
True.
Accessibility to the nearest supermarket, accessibility to the nearest bus stop, MRT.
Schools.
Yes.
To the best
Yes.
matcha place,
Definitely.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
need
like
to
40
have.
hands, it's no more.
Yeah, no more so sad. Oh my god.
man.
hands.
Yeah.
It was my favorite.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's her
Dirty
accessibility.
matcha. It used to be at Keong side
Yeah.
around there. And last time I think East Coast had one.
East Coast had one, yeah, 40
but it
hands
also
at East
closed
Coast.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now Supernova is not bad. Right in front of Tembusu Grand. That's one plus point. Yeah. And actually Tembusu Grand is building quite fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's building quite
So
fast.
actually I think the
The
TOP
plot
will be-
beside is going to be launching pretty soon.
Emerald.
That one is Jalan Tembusu, right?
Yes,
Katong.
Jalan Tembusu.
MCL, right?
And that whole entire head road will be jammed
Mm.
like sardine and anchovies.
So do you want to stay there?
I love Bayshore area. There's going to be one government land sale going to be launching in June 2024.
June 2024.
Bayshore.
Bayshore, the very first plot.
Is that the one
coming.
closest to the MRT or not?
It's the one closest to the expressway. They get rid of that first.
They will launch all the, not so prime parts
Yeah.
of that Bayshore first,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
That one is BTO or GRS.
GLS. GLS.
So what do you think about investing too early in master plans? Most master plans are about, sometimes it will take 10 to 15 years.
Mm.
So like, what do you think about, when a master plan is being announced and then people overly anticipate and then they start to invest first, but they only start to see the fruits
10, 15,
15 years later. Then by the time they're old already, and maybe during that 10, 15 years, they could have done like 3 to 4 cycles
Three
of
cycles
buying and
elsewhere.
selling.
Elsewhere.
But they were there. They're like the first person, and then they waited so long. What do you guys think?
I think sometimes that one can have a bit of overhype. Like if you take a look at Greater Southern Waterfront, right? Last time they just buy, got Greater Southern Waterfront. Then you just buy. But I think when you buy, it's also good to assess how long do you want to hold. And by the time that you hold and you want to exit, right, will the master plan be realized and developed. Because in my opinion, I think like the Greater Southern Waterfront, for example,
20-year plan, right?
yeah, it's too long already. So, and I think what some of the developers are doing is they also price in the premium. Yeah. So I think you got to be very clear in terms of your time horizon and whether the disparity still makes sense. I think at the end of the day, it's still falling back to the fundamentals.
Yeah, I think master plan is more of like a big picture kind of guidelines to map out how Singapore is going to progress in the next decade or so. But I don't think it's wise to just bang wholeheartedly on your master plan in deciding whether or not to buy this property, this area. I think fundamentally it's really about your own stay needs, the location, your family needs as well, the proximity and the convenience, because that is what is going to affect you every day. Yeah, the long-term plan kind of big picture thing is a bit too broad to, I feel, really affect our decision right now in the short, medium term.
Yeah. And I think, right, we also need to be very realistic and practical in terms of how the master plan will evolve. Because if, let's say, the government announced a master plan, then we also got to see whether, firstly, the infrastructure, is it ready to support the growth? When we talk about infrastructure, that means we talk about whether the road expansion is happening, whether the trees have been chopped off, whether the drainage line have all been laid. I think all these infrastructure are ready. Then they will talk about having the first government land sale or having about like the amenities nearby. And then when all these things can happen, do you think that you will still stay there, or do you think that you want to move somewhere else before you come back to this location?
Okay, so I think we want today's NOTG episode to be more about how does looking at a master plan affect our investment decision. Less of like maybe just sharing with the audience like what are all the master plans and all that, because I think audiences already know. The last one was in 2019. The up and coming one is in 2025. They already started to announce to the public to collect some feedbacks and stuff like that on certain portions that they're collecting feedbacks, and then they will try to see like how they can implement some of the new things into the 2025 plan. So master plan usually happens once every 5 years. Is also like a testament that our government in Singapore is strong, and they are constantly improving urban life in Singapore city, and they're injecting funds to build more infrastructure, the way of living, the way of working, the way of playing. And if we look at the most recent 2025, I think they are starting to put a lot more emphasis on inclusiveness, meaning that compared to the past, where certain areas are zoned or curated for more private properties, now the up and coming areas have a mix of both. Public housing, for example, like Keppel, is going to have like a combination of BTOs as well as private. The latest Jurong Lake District JLD plot, where they want a master developer for like mega plot, they also set in the criteria it must have BTOs as well as private properties. So I think it's more inclusiveness, a lot more fun as well. Like recently they have sort of like set the timeline for that connection route that you can actually cycle from Bishan to CBD, going under all the CT expressway kind of route. So let's talk about like maybe from the investment and also buying for own stay kind of point of view. So the first question is that when do y'all, or maybe how do I phrase it, is like investing too early into the hype, does it help? What are some of the detrimental effects? And then maybe share some examples of certain areas whereby maybe investing might be a little bit too early. Like what do you think? Because when we look at investing too early, after you hear announcement of master plan, for example, Sentosa, now there's a new island besides Sentosa that they're going to start. Is it called Brani? Pulau Brani?
Brani Island.
Brani Island.
Think
is it?
so.
Brani Island.
That is like a 20-year master plan. So things like this, how does it affect our investment decision? Then secondly is that sometimes when we look at certain projects and launches, because Singapore is so small, but when you look at maybe the brochures, it's like all the master plans are all added in. Like maybe it's at this locale, but there's a lot more master plan from different parts of Singapore that are all being added in. So what do you guys think about this two kind of thinking, or these two kind of frameworks?
For me, the way I use master plan is not really to sort of confirm or buy into something just because of that. But it's more of, okay, if I enter into this plot, then at least I want to know, okay, what is the immediate development of the empty plot, if there is, in front of me, so that I'm mentally prepared that maybe in future when it's time that I want to exit, there might be new development that will help to anchor my pricing, or that I won't be expecting like kind of like an unblocked view throughout as well. I think because of the fact that Singapore is in a land scarce environment, definitely I don't think any plot of land that is unblocked right now will be unblocked permanently. There's definitely going to be plans and all that, so it shouldn't come as a surprise, but it's just when is it going to happen? That is one thing.
So you're talking about a micro master plan. So these are like the zones. Maybe we can name it as like a more district master plan or mega master plan or regional master plan. What Joanne is mentioning is that she likes to look at immediate plot kind of like segregation, because all these kind of plots, they change over time. So for example, if you look at this tool, this is in Geylang. Is it in Geylang? Oh, sorry, this is Bayshore. 2014, 2019, as master plans get rejuvenated, the plot colors will change. So certain plots that could be like a green zoning in the past where nothing was stipulated, then it could turn into a residential plot. For example, at Springleaf area, there was like a whole forest area. Then everything now is basically this orange color thingy. Basically, it's all residential plot.
And it's also interesting because I think like looking at this slide, right, where it shows you the master plan, I think back in 2014 versus 2019, looking at how the plots currently are being marked out, whether or not it has already been cut, also gives you an indication on how fast the development is going to take shape. If let's say it's just an empty plot right now, it hasn't really been split up as per the 2014 one, at least I think you can foresee that maybe in the next 3 to 4 years, you probably won't be expecting any buildings to be up so soon. But you do know that eventually, if you do plan to stay long term, then definitely your CV will be blocked. So I think all these are small little indication. Another example would be at the Lentor area, where if you look at 2014 master plan, the plots of land, the 5 or 6 different plots of land around Hillock Park hasn't really been cut out yet. But we do know that it's zone residential. So at least for the people that are banking on that, then you have to be sort of conditioning yourself that, okay, this probably won't happen so soon. I mean, at least back in 2014, not like in the next 3 years, 2017, that's going to sprout out. But you do know that there's the potential. And if let's say you are really like an investor, you really want to go for something as your second or third property and you have the names and the funds, then potentially that can be a long-term plan as well.
Anyone can talk a little bit about some of the annotations, basically the 3.5, what does 3.5 mean, 2.8, as well as the H, W, and E.
Okay, so this is URA space. And basically this is the main kind of map. And there are many different layers that we can see. So maybe when we go to layers. Yeah, so definitely there's the one map, and then what we're talking about is basically the master plan approved amendments. So this amendments, this approved master plan changes once every 5 years, and it basically guides the growth of the area. So previously, when we were looking at the regional part, if we do not look at the map itself, you will already see the thematic changes that are upcoming. So thematic changes are basically concepts released by URA on how do we shape the space around us. So thematic concepts can be like, integrating more more green spaces into the environment. But when we look specifically at this, so this is what Joanne mentioned just now in terms of the actual plot itself. So if we click legend, you will actually see that there are different colors. If this is your first time looking at the URA master plan, then if you go in, you will actually see, actually, why is it so colorful? What does it, denote? What does it connotate? So basically the orangey plots that you see are residential. If it's the pinkish color, then it has the commercial at the first story. So what we call a mixed development. In terms of the numbers, this is actually the plot ratio to indicate the density of the development. So at 1.4, you are looking at something about 5 stories. So this will be, your landed properties or your boutique properties. If you are looking at 2.1, then 2.1 is about 24 stories. So a 2.1 plot ratio is at 24 stories. And then 2.8 plot ratio is higher at 36 stories. Yeah, so the different numbers actually indicate to you the density of the project. So what this means for you, right? Let's say as a buyer, if you are buying a project and then you look across out of the window, I think George and myself, our very first unit that I marketed, I think a couple of years
River
ago.
Park.
Yes, River Park. Yes, this, I think 13th floor, beautiful balcony view. And then we knew that there was an upcoming MRT station. But the first question that a lot of buyers will come in and ask us, is what's going to happen to this unblocked view that I'm getting, right? Because this unblocked view spans across the entire living room, the 2 bedrooms as well as the master room. It's definitely a reason why people will be buying into the project in the first place. So if we were to look at the time at the URA Master Plan, it was actually already zoned residential. Yeah, so we will just share with the buyers, okay, this plot is zoned residential, which means that you can a residential development, be it a HDB like a BTO, or it could be a new launch property. We do not know. What does this mean for you is two-pronged, right? So as a buyer, first thing is that if you know there's going to be new development in the area, there will be a rejuvenation in terms of pricing. Because we always know that new launch leads resale pricing in any development. But on the other hand, what that means is also that, number one, your view will be blocked. And also, as the buyer, you may have to put up with the construction noises. And the dust and all that. But of course, the timeline wise, we do not know, because at that time it was subject to detailed planning. So other than residential, we also do have commercial and residential, and then the dark blue for commercial. So people, like when they buy into the plots, they love to look at commercial spaces as well. So commercial spaces would mean like in terms of amenities, shopping malls, all of this. So you want to hunt for an area that is pretty close to certain commercial spaces. One of the more like prized sites are basically the white sites, right? So white sites are like what we call like a
blue chip.
Yeah, blue chip stock, right? So basically white sites are meant for redevelopment. It's meant for, it has a lot of potential for different kinds of users. It could be commercial, it could be an integrated development, it could be residential, it could be a mega mall and all of that. We also do have on the legend E. E is basically educational institutions, so your schools. So sometimes people like to be near schools because schools are usually very low, low rise. Yeah, so because they are low rise, it means that you don't have that block view. They also love to be near schools because of the parents' attraction factors. Maybe they want to send their children to, these couple of schools. It could be tertiary, it could be primary, secondary in the area. But one thing is that the traffic for schools, especially primary schools, sometimes can be a little bit heavy in the mornings. So you will need to look at the roads as well leading up to these educational institutions. Then, of course, we do have health, which is connotated in the H, and then in red, and then W, which is worship. Places of worship. Yeah. So these are also things to take a look and be, mindful of when you are buying your property. So I think that's the general overview of, the master plan and then how you can read it. We're just marketing this penthouse, right? We were shooting the penthouse. So one thing we did is we also studied the master plan to see the plots in front, right? Because there's actually 2 projects in front. So the beauty of a penthouse is that you want that unblocked view, right? But we do not want to buy into a view and then only to realize that, the projects in front of us are going to tear down and rebuild all the way up. Yeah. So that's something we want to know and be rest assured of as well.
Great. Thanks, Grayce. Maybe let me pull out this Lentor master plan. So just now, we're talking about some of the evolvement, right, over time. So if you look at 2008, basically this is the Lentor area. Back then when this master plan was announced, this was usually it takes a 5-year period. So this was all the way until 2013. So if you notice, this plot was actually residential. Then when you look at that, so that time I think the MRT was not even announced yet. And then when you look at this, right, this switched to a hospital land. So this is actually like a nursing home. It has been there since the start, and then it switched, and then there was like a sort of like a segregation of plot, like what Joanne mentioned. Then of course, then in 2019 it switched again. So this was like the concept that evolved over time. So we also had to take on that master plans are subject to improvements and changes. So maybe that time you're thinking like, hey, okay, because different things mean different things to buyers. So some buyers do not want to live near to a hospital. Some will feel that, hey, actually having a hospital is an asset, because nowadays hospitals are also being positioned and being seen like a node. Yeah, it's a node lah. Basically, like when it was instituted in Yishun, now Woodlands also have their own hospital. Sengkang have their own hospital already. Jurong also have their own hospital. We can already see that our government is trying to decentralize even all these like main kind of functions in different parts of Singapore. So there was also a move, I think about 10 years back. There are a lot of international schools. For example, OFS, Overseas Family School, was moved from River Valley to Pasir Ris. Yeah, and they are trying to make sure that every part of Singapore has a nice balance of overseas school as well as hospital, plus like a mega shopping mall integrated development. So some people will see that it's an asset, but some people may see that, hey, I don't want to live near to the hospital. So I think it's important to note that master plans are subject to changes, and you can be in for certain kind of surprises as well. Like this was like a very major kind of thing that happened in 2023. Everybody is looking towards this Hillock Park kind of concept. What do you guys think? I mean, like, what are your personal preference? Like living near to places of worship, as well as like a hospital. What are your own like preferences, and what have you heard from buyers on the ground?
Two different lens lah. One is, if let's say I want to buy for own sake and then eventually turn it into like an investment, then I think positioning to be near to like hospitals or healthcare will be good, because I can then have rental demand coming from the healthcare professionals. So take for example, like if you talk about Woodlands Health Campus, it's a mega campus at the Woodlands area itself. They will definitely form some of the tenants pool that the healthcare professional would love to stay near towards their own place. So for example, the Vales. So the Vales, two different facings. One is facing towards the hospital. So that is generally most of the buyers' concern. But I think because of that, some of the buyers also be able to snag a good deal, because some of the units maybe are harder to move, and then they don't mind buying a unit that's like facing towards the hospital. But I feel generally that is probably like a stigma that people have. But I don't think there's anything wrong with facing towards the hospital.
I think end of the day is basically the facing, right? So it's like when you come home, what do you want to see outside a balcony? And just now you mentioned something like, if buyers don't mind the facing towards the hospital, then technically it's the same size. Let's say they're looking for a 3-bedder, face hospital or face pool. Naturally, the market will self-calibrate itself. Because if sellers try to sell their units facing the hospital and realize that there's a lot of objections constantly, 3, 6, 9 months, and they cannot move the unit at this price, because buyers will rather just top out a little bit, go for a higher floor facing internally, then the market will self-calibrate itself, that sellers, after a while, they will become realistic. They will mark down on their asking price, and then buyers will buy them at a premium. And sorry, not at a premium, at a discount compared to better facing units. And then how do buyers regulate this in terms of inherent factors like facing the hospital versus facing the pool? Is that, let's say a hospital facing is example 1.3 million asking price, but a pool facing one is 1.35, but they just feel that I just top up 50,000 to get the pool view. Once it's being self-calibrated to, for example, 1.25, buyers will think that, hey, I save 100,000 or 150,000, I use it for renovation. So that's how usually buyers self-calibrate their decision-making kind of mechanism. How about this? Like Bayshore, the MRT is here now. There are a couple of plots already. What do you guys think? I mean, like, this is a plot that is beside the hospital, or maybe it's a nursing home. We're not sure. This is a plot beside a place of worship and a school. This is a mega plot beside a school. Does this affect your decision-making process as a home buyer? Let's put on a lens as a home buyer.
Actually, if you are that plot, right, the 2.8 plot, and you are on this side, the educational, actually it means that you will have a pretty much unblocked view out, because you have that educational,
that pocket.
Yeah, that pocket. So like let's say compared to some of your neighbors, you will be very close to the next project, because you see the next project is also 2.8, right? Yeah. So if you were here, let's say on the right side, and there are units that are facing outwards, what that could mean is a greater distance between you and the next project. Yeah, so that could be good. But on the ground, we have buyers that strictly tell us like no schools. I don't want to be near schools at all. Yeah, because of the
Recess time.
sing louder. The mic cannot hear you.
That's their alarm every morning.
Yeah, so every morning 7:30 a.m. there's the national anthem. The kids, or even the teenagers running around, playing, screaming. The roads as well. So I think let's say last time I used to rent a place near a school. So it's like the project is here and then the school is here. Every morning, coming out is an issue. Even cycling is a big issue. So I used to cycle to my workout class, right? And then I have to dodge left and right all the little kids.
Primary school or secondary school?
Primary school.
Okay.
Primary or secondary? I think primary and secondary.
Was it in Dover that time?
Yeah.
Oh, dodge the kids.
Yeah, so then I had to ding, 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 ding. And it was really stressful in the morning. And then at 1 p.m., the whole car park will be filled with parents waiting for their children. Yeah, so it's a real concern. I think it's a real concern. Of
Traffic
course, weekends will be very quiet and all
I think
that.
it's the traffic. I grew up at my parents' place right beside a very popular school. So every morning I will hear, "Oh, papaya, MGS." Actually, it's Paya Lebar MGS.
It's not papaya,
Oh,
bro.
papaya. And every morning for years. Then, of course, my road is stuck on. Because every parent will come to the side gate to drop the kids.
Yeah, especially
Inside the car
if
park.
it's quite a... I would say quite a renowned school, right? Then the parents somehow will drive. So like last time I was I grew up in a neighborhood school, right? So we just walk to school every day. But when I was living near those really prestigious schools, then all the cars will come in, then it will clog up the whole way. Yeah, so that's something to think about lah. But of course, if you the perks of it is that weekends are extremely quiet. Don't have the papa.
Yeah. 2 days out of the week.
Yeah,
And school holidays.
yeah. So you remember, Joanna, our buyer asked us, right? So we went with our buyers to view a home, and then there was this landed home that's near a school. Then one of them say okay ma. Then the other person say are you sure? You have to. So okay. The husband say it's okay lah. I'm fine. I can leave house earlier. 15 minutes earlier every day to avoid the traffic.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but then the wife said, are you sure you want to compromise that? You want to live your life having to leave house 15 minutes earlier every weekday just to get to work? Yeah, because you want to live in this area. Yeah.
I know who the buyer is.
Okay.
You know me? Oh yeah, you met them.
Double D.
Okay, if you look at the master plan planning, right, it's also very smart.
Yeah, I wanted to say actually the government is very smart.
Okay, you see, sea view facing.
No, that was my point.
Oh, say
Let her say.
讲啦，给你讲
No, because when you ask which plot,
our government is the master planner.
Yeah, they are really. They are always trying to balance the pros and cons, right? Because you can't.
你要 sea view 来咯，
Yeah,
拿这个
you
咯
can't end up having a plot that is oversubscribed and then having another plot that is not taken up and the demand is so low. They know how to balance.
Developers also.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I think it's
And they
ingenious
give
that.
floor to ceiling glass. Open
So
view
you
for
see,
HDB
if you want a sea view plot, right, just have a look. Then you have to buy this two right? Of course, these two are the purest one. It's right beside MRT station. Then this one, if you're worried about school, but the MRT is just right here, Bedok South.
And you have mall right beside.
Yeah, then it's the integrated development.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you will just balance out everything.
And you even have a park running in between, a linear park.
Actually, that 2.8 one at the side is the
This
best.
one, right?
Yeah.
The one at the side.
This one,
Direct access to the MRT exit, sea view, you have the park, you have the mall,
Mm.
You
integrated.
have the army camp beside.
Oh, then you just don't take that side lor. Sea view lah, sea view.
So I feel that side
here,
will have
not
some,
bad lah. At least
But-
no more.
but you will have some,
but for it.
you have some fins. You have some fins.
Oh yeah, Hill
Like Hillview,
Haven.
yeah.
Hill Haven.
You have some
yeah.
fins maybe to block some of the view.
Yeah.
Then after you want to have sea view, you cannot have sea view. You can only see one side.
I think the left side one is the best. No, the one at the Bayshore MRT.
This one.
Yeah.
This one, I
Yeah.
tell you, the traffic here will be.
Yeah, every plot you choose, there's definitely something that.
So I feel that as you are looking into all this, right,
Yeah,
it
this fall.
matters in terms of the living condition also. Like when you drive home, will it be congested? Will it be easy for you to
Yeah.
move in and out? I think these are
Practical concerns.
Yes, very, very practical concern.
Hey, George, share how to look at the government land sales.
Click into the plot, the small little plots.
I don't know why.
Which one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then,
Hey, tell the audience what we're looking at first lah.
just not say really. If you never catch it, then too bad. If you want to get more info, call our
Just go back 20 seconds ago.
Yeah. So what we are looking at, right, is government land sale. So maybe why this is important for some of the buyers is if they want to kind of see, when is the next GLS going to be launched? Will it cause a price movement? You can go to URA space, come to the layers, and then click onto government land sale. And then you see orange color. Now you see two colors, mainly for residential, right? Two colors. One is awning. The other one is that dark blue, purplish blue? It's not purple lah.
It's purple.
Indigo.
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 That's
Yeah.
the agar-agar
Purple
color.
ah.
So indigo, right, means it has already been launched, already done and dusted. So what you want to see is awning color. You click onto awning color, you will see when it will be launched. So you will see June 2024, that will be the estimated date lah. If it is EC, you write as EC, executive condominium. Yeah, so all these plots might be of interest if you're kind of planning.
This one is a HDB plot, man.
I don't know. Is it?
You won't know, right?
HDB, they will say HDB.
Okay,
Yeah.
but seriously,
Over.
as the buyer,
Seriously, yeah.
why does it matter to me to look at what are the upcoming plots?
Oh, is this
for-
some form of banter now?
for government
We're rolling.
to
Right. Yeah. Why they want to see is because they want to kind of know, okay, should I sell now? Should I sell later?
Wow, then that is just a future.
No, but you will see the date, ma. So this one is June 2024. If they know that it's going to be launched, and then if let's say the developer maybe got 3 or 4 developers, they bid for it, then they know that this would have been the price to be absorbed in the market already. Of course, pending the launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, contingent that a developer even wins the bid first. Right?
Yeah, lah, likelihood lah.
So win already, then they still need to submit their plans or whatever, and
yeah.
then the launch, which could
Take a couple of months.
Yeah.
lah. Yeah.
I don't think more than a couple of months, right?
No, they won't put one, you see.
Falling juice.
Yeah.
That
So
is a HDB.
yeah. So if it's HDB, it wouldn't be reflected
No, you
under
will see
government
the
land sale.
sale one.
Yeah. It
Yeah?
will be reflected under government land sale.
Oh, so
Yeah.
confirm is private lah.
Yeah, lor.
Fantastic.
That's what I said.
Then-
lah.
That's what we've been telling you.
Fantastic.
So come to the east side.
So that's going to be a private property lah, 480 units.
Yeah.
First launch next year.
There's going to be 3,000 private, 7,000 HDB at Bayshore.
Bayshore.
Okay.
Go back.
Okay, come. Okay, so
So you see
There's
orange
orange
color.
and purple.
Hey,
colour.
George,
Zoom
come
out.
back. No more broken English.
Okay, orange.
回来。
No, you see those orange color.
Where?
Zoom out. No, you zoom out. Zoom
There
out.
on the right side just
On the
now.
right hand side.
Okay.
Yeah, so that will be at Tampines.
West.
Yeah.
West.
So it's going to be, one of it will likely be an integrated. I think this one. Yeah, so you see commercial residential.
Mm-hmm.
So this will be likely an integrated development.
Right.
So orange are just the upcoming
Upcoming
GLS.
GLS
Okay.
yet to conclude.
Available for application. That means you can
Can
activate.
submit already.
You can
Yeah.
activate the
Correct.
tender.
So you see, if it's EC, they will write that as EC. So that plot on the right hand side will be an EC. You see that? Hey.
Fantastic.
EC sales agent will be HDB. Private will be URA.
Mm.
Okay, since we are talking about Bayshore, let's talk about Long Island. What do you guys think?
Long Island high in alcohol content, about 40%. Long Island tea. Last time I didn't know it. I drink, wow, I thought it's cold. After I knocked out
Okay, 回来.
cold.
Let's
Okay,
talk about this
Long Island
plan.
will be about 20 years plan. It will start from off Marina Barrage area. So you got to zoom out. You zoom out a little bit more.
Hey, where was our
More. Yeah.
marathon route? You point out.
Hey, come back. 回
You gonna
来
Google?
No, you talk a bit about
You
the
gonna
half
Google the
marathon.
route? You see Grayce.
That's why right, we need the beanbag, bro. 这样做到腰酸背痛。
会咩？这个一直 OK what? Reasonable what?
Yeah, it's reasonable, but it's not ideal.
Just move away from the table, start sitting on the floor.
So this Long Island plan will take place, I think, over like 20 over years. So you start off from the Marina Barrage area. So one of the golf courses will not be renewed in terms of their lease. So I believe this will be part of the plan, but it will be 20 years. So whatever sea view that you have from now, just cherish it, man. You will not have
So
it in
actually everything
future.
will be gone, no?
It'll be gone.
Except this reservoir thing.
Yeah, which I believe is part of the plan. So I think when we look at this, right, it encompasses a lot of other factors. One is, of course, housing. The other one is, I think, in terms of like maybe the potential rising tide that the government is trying to curb.
It's definitely for the rising tide lah.
Yeah.
So that means even the Bayshore BTO with Seaview will also be gone.
Potentially, because it will stretch all the way towards the other side.
Oh yeah, Bayshore is here ma.
Yeah.
So it'll be gone.
And those Marine Parade.
You will get
HDB
reservoir view. From sea view become reservoir view.
So
Marine Parade HDB on.
so I feel
Reservoir.
no, maybe they'll have pockets.
No, that's HDB at Marine Parade.
That one by then gone already. So okay, so this is a
完了
good
没
meeting
了
point.
变成
Because
变成戏水池哦 reservoir view.
Seriously?
Yeah.
But I feel that right, with all this like master plan in place, right, it will bring about the next change, which is what will happen to all the current HDBs. Like for example, the ones at Marine Parade, those are sitting in a super prime plot.
Yeah.
Would it also means that once this Long Island plan is crystallized, will that go through the SIRS program?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
sales
not saying
program
it will.
recent years has been really low lah. I mean, like just a few percentage point. I think government is really focusing on the lease buyback scheme. Maybe there'll be no SIRS, then they will just take back everything,
Oh yeah.
build a brand new BTO.
Yeah, they will just let the lease run out, right?
Yeah, or just lease buyback. Oh. Because it's so prime. I mean, it's all Marine Parade Central.
It's ultra. That is the first public housing sitting on the reclaimed land.
Yeah. Maybe they'll just build more amenities, more things, shopping malls or like recreational. Okay, then of course here there'll be BTOs and private properties. So perhaps
And recreation.
there'll be parks and all that, which might still have some level of sea view lah. But I think like sea view will definitely be limited to this. This two will be the safety point. Yeah, but that means the Bayshore one is not exactly a sea view really.
But
Or-
it depends on how long this
or
takes
stop
shape
last
lah.
And it depends on like what they're going to build
Probably
here
you can live through your first 15 years because of the MOP and the construction.
to enjoy the sea view, right?
Probably.
And
yeah.
maybe they if let's say the government really plan out well, maybe they could potentially put all these, right, the Long Island ones as a 1.4 plot ratio.
I think tough lah because of the
Those
land
are
scarcity.
prime, man.
Yeah. I don't think they'll cap it at five stories.
Firstly, it's a 4-year study plan. Then maybe this will take how many years?
20 years.
20 years.
I believe lah. 15
That will be
20 years.
2048, 2050.
Wow, 20 years from now. I hope we'll be sitting in Bali.
It's too long already lah, actually. I mean, like for our era lah, it's more for the next gen to decide which one to buy, which one to invest. What about GSW, Greater Southern Waterfront? Do you think it's overhyped and it's too early right now?
Actually, this one has been announced quite some time
Yeah.
already, I believe.
During the National Day rally.
Yeah, like back even before 2010, was it? Or was it announced in 2013? I think at least like about 10 years already. So I think, but of course, like the relocation of all your Pasir
Pasir
Panjang
Panjang,
terminal, your Keppel club, all this, it also takes time because sometimes there are also lease running, there are businesses there that will be affected as well. So like what you see here, Keppel's club, their lease has expired, and then now they're over at I think in Bukit Timah area. So all this takes time to realize and eventualize. So I think right now it's becoming more of a reality because we see there are plans to start launching some of the BTOs over there as well. The government has already put out news that how many BTOs they're going to be injecting over there. Of course, it's going to be a mixture as well. So I don't think right now it's that much of an overhype thing compared to if let's say you want to talk about Long Island.
It's like really happening already.
Yes, it is happening already. Yeah.
No, but the strange part is that the sellers will sell it for at a
They will
Premium.
price in.
premium, right?
Yeah.
They'll price it in.
They will price in if it's to their benefit.
Yeah. No,
But will the
as in
buyer absorb at the
both
price?
sellers and buyers will want
Mismatch,
to. Yeah.
Mismatch in expectation.
Yeah.
Same as what is happening to all the unblocked cases. Also mismatch because of the replacement goods, which is getting more and more expensive.
Okay, let's talk about this. So what do you guys think? Well, of course, like now there's Caribbean and all that kind of projects, right?
Caribbean, corals, reef, reflections.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? These are the golf courses, right?
Yes, there's
Yeah.
a golf course.
Yeah. So reflections is like here.
I mean, directly, the biggest implication is for the reflection units that are fronting towards that plot. So, like the units, they're actually enjoying a really, really nice open greenery view.
Yeah, the golf course view, right?
The golf course view.
will be gone.
Floor to ceiling height. Windows. Then, I mean, like Eunice and I, we brought our buyers to view there. And then yesterday we just visited the
very nice.
completed- Yeah, and they in the end they chose a unit that's closer to the entrance.
Which one?
What do you mean?
And
Which buyer?
reflections.
Which buyer?
I said no. As in you brought to which project?
Reflections.
Oh, this one, huh?
Yeah, so
you just
we-
closed the deal yesterday.
No.
They visited them. Have pastries.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Choose your cup.
Yeah, choose your
Yeah, it was a whole experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see the coffee grinding machine like wow.
And then
dun, dun,
I
dun.
saw the board. Like
Yeah.
the Vesta board,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the Vesta
Right.
board.
It's like
That's
a premium home lah. Anyway,
Yeah.
so back last year when we were bringing our buyers to reflections to choose the unit, we actually viewed one that is facing the golf course. Is like one of the most beautiful homes I've ever seen. Like you step in, right? The living room is like wow. You span towards the entire golf course. The master room, I think it's like a 270-degree view, and like it's really beautiful lah. But and the price point was reasonable also at that time.
Because it's facing the golf course.
Yes, but as because we knew that there's going to be redevelopments there.
Yeah.
So I think for our buyer, the main thing was that can I live with it or not? Like I'm buying this home for the view, right? So in the end, we chose something that has a more protected view, which is facing the main road. So, but it's actually the greenery view.
Which is here.
The viaduct.
Because this,
Yeah lah.
this,
Yes,
this entire
correct,
plot, so
correct.
it's facing
Yes.
Near the
So
exit.
yes, so you're fronting towards the greenery,
here. Okay.
and then there's the roads to give you a good distance.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they mentioned also like to go to the amenities and all that is a lot easier. So I think the immediate implications is actually for the units that are fronting towards the golf course,
All this,
knowing that because for something like this, right, you are a premium product and you are selling at a premium because of your view. Right. So this is definitely something that is going to impact.
Yeah, so for this, what do you guys think? I mean, compare this to like Lentor and Bayshore where the plot's demarcation is already out with the plot ratio, but this already has been in talks for quite some time, including like talking about the fact that there's like how many BTOs that are going to be built and all that, but the demarcation is not out yet. Do you all think this will be out in the next upcoming Master Plan 2025? What do you guys think?
I think there's a chance that there might be some changes. I mean, because if you look at the whole Master Plan transformation, GSW is also one of the piece that the government has been putting out for quite some time in the market already. Potentially, this is one area that might see some changes in the 2025, or at least the draft Master Plan. Yeah.
So logically, what would you think will happen to the units closest to reflections at Keppel Bay? What will be the plots here? Private or HDB?
I think it will be private because I think the government also won't be so heartless to go and like kill off all the projects here. It will be private and it will be lower plot ratio also. Yeah, I mean plot ratio, okay, I mean it could be higher plot ratio, but I think the HDBs will be the ones closer to the Telok Blangah side. But then closer to the reflections, closer to the more premium projects, lifestyle projects, I think it'll be private properties.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who will be so heartless? What do you think, George?
I don't think it matters.
I think very weird. Like, why HDB behind reflections? Like,
Don't think it matters in terms of what?
Like no matter what, those stacks that are fronting towards the north, right, their views will be blocked already.
So whether it's a HDB
I mean,
or private property?
Yeah, I'm just thinking from the seller's perspective lah. Yeah, no matter
How about
what.
as a concept point of view, like if you're a government, would you plan HDBs here to face reflections at Keppel Bay, or would you like put in private property so that they can group together with all this, with Caribbean and all that? Then maybe nearer to the road will be HDBs, nearer to the MRT. What do you think? What do you think, Joanne? How would you plan it if you're the master planner?
Actually, what I would want to inject is mixed. It's a blue plot. It's a mixed commercial and residential inside here, because actually along this Telok Blangah area, yes, you have some markets and all that, right? But the nearest mall is Vivo,
amenities.
which is towards Harbourfront side. In fact, this area, those who are staying at what's that, Sky, the condo over there, Sky something. There has like the amenities is really just the wet market over there. And there really hasn't been like a mall per se. And if you notice, actually, for example, if you look at the Northeast line, actually every singular MRT node has a shopping mall. And I think that's the trend. And I think moving forward, it won't just be a shopping mall with a residential. It's going to be like a one-stop hub, like what you're seeing at Woodley. Like what you're seeing with the hawker center, you have your medical facilities.
So likely here lah.
Potentially,
At
because
MRT
that is
station.
where the node is. That's where people will congregate towards for transport, for your amenities, for your healthcare needs and all that.
Yeah.
It's also to maximize and optimize every plot of land that we have. So it's going to be a multi-use building. It's going to be a multi-use development, I feel. That's what. I mean, whether is it BTO or condo that is facing reflections, I mean, there are some HDBs, BTO also facing landed. But I mean, that's just how the government wants to decentralize and ensure that every enclave, every neighborhood has a good mix of different social status, people staying in there. Like you see the Dover Forest, they're also having new BTO that's looking over all the landed homes and the condos. Yeah. So I think that's going to be a trend, but it probably won't be something that's going to be so alarming to, affect. But I think what I would do as a master planner, I would want to improve the amenities and the livability at Telok Blangah.
It's really due for rejuvenation.
Yeah.
This is very old already. So what do you guys think about the potential of Jurong? Because now Jurong is being primed as going to be the largest commercial district outside of CBD.
Actually, I am pretty excited in Jurong because it has been a long time coming.
Is it because you study in Rulang?
Maybe.
I want to buy a Woodlands condo. Maybe now I'll just think like, why don't I just cross the MRT to buy a JB condo since they are both so near?
No, but do you know we didn't shoot in April? This is our first shoot in April.
So that's what I feel.
Yeah,
I felt very low.
but it feels like
yeah.
I've been here every week, man.
I felt
Let's talk about
you
Bali.
don't
Let's talk
calendar.
about Bali. How was Bali?
What's the takeaway?
How was your
fantastic.
street?
Really too many things, well. It's like too many things.